All right. So, um, I'll be delineating the sign of Capricorn. And as you can see, I already drawn out this image. If you follow me on Facebook, you will know that this is the video I said I was doing when they interrupted the light. So I didn't want to just erase it. I want it to be like this, because when I started doing the first video, original official video of this particular demonstration, I had already started explaining quite a bit of things here. I had not even gone into the sign yet. I had not gone into the sign yet. I was just demonstrating something else, talking about, a lot of stuff that I felt, the light went going off was like maybe the universe didn't want me to put out that information. So I'm not even going to uh, go back to all of those things that I've talked about. I believe there was a reason why that happened. That's the first time, ever since I've been recording video they took, like, that is the first time ever. So it stuck to me, just like maybe people are not interested, will not be interested in that information. Or it's not something for me to give out. So I just decided to, pause. I would have cleaned this up and just do a live demonstration again. If you, as you can see here, this is the glyph, the planetary glyph of Saturn. You understand? So I talked about, because Saturn rules Capricorn, right? Yeah. So I was already talking about a lot of stuff here. People often misunderstand Capricorn. Capricorn is termed the malefic, but people often misunderstand Capricorn. You understand? Capricorn isn't as malefic as a lot of people think. It's just because in this current time that we are in the world, we are people that lack self-accountability a lot, which is what the sign of Capricorn is. Capricorn is accountability. Capricorn is patience. Now I'm getting into the video now. Capricorn is accountability. Capricorn is patience. It's steadfastness. It is obligation. It is responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? And Capricorn is also the sign of knowledge is power. Now, why do I say that? Capricorn has Scorpio. Capricorn has Scorpio in the 11th place. You understand what I'm saying? Capricorn has Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign of power. And the 11th place is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Capricorn is... That's why I said when I was doing a demonstration, I will not go back to it, because I don't know what the universe was trying to say. I was saying it quite a lot. For 9 minutes straight, I've not even started demonstrating the sign of Capricorn. I was just dropping serious knowledge on what Capricorn means as regards to just the people. You understand? So this is a very, 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 very powerful sign. So I think a lot of people miss that. This is a very, very powerful sign. This is the very obsession of the ancients. This guy, you understand, he rules Capricorn originally. Then second planet sign he chooses Aquarius before Uranus was discovered. You understand? Yeah. So which is all that stuff that we don't really do here, because it was like the Westerners that discovered that. Because we don't really go into the culture of stargazing. We don't do that. We feel it's something far-fetched. We can just go to a shrine and offer stuff and things go away. We don't understand the importance of knowing celestial science. And this guy was the obsession of the ancients. This is why they knew this stuff. This is the very fabric of this stuff that we are talking about here in astrology. Scorpio is the sign of astrology. Aquarius is the sign of astrology. Capricorn puts these two signs in the same place. The 11th place is ruled by Aquarius. Scorpio is in the 11th place of Capricorn. Do you understand? Power, knowledge is power, is because this guy was the very obsession of the ancients. I said quite a lot for 9 minutes straight. I'm not going to just go back there, honestly. I'm not going to go back there. I was saying something for 9 minutes straight before that light got interrupted. That is the first time I'm making a video and the light got interrupted. It stuck to me. I needed to think it through, like, what did this mean? So I said I was not going to say those things I wanted to say again. There was a reason behind that happening. So I'll just go with the flow of this thing. Scorpio is in the 11th place. And when you look at this, right, this is the sign of change and evolution and transformation in the 11th house of change and transformation. And this is also the place of friendship. So now we are talking about Capricorn. Capricorn having this sign here in friendship. Situations where, you get stuck in a situation, or you see someone who, you find people in a situation where they be like, this particular thing, I know someone that if he was in this situation, he's very good at this kind of stuff. He would have been able to come out of it. Capricorn don't do that kind of stuff where you're in a situation and then you're like, if was this my guy, if was this my friend, you would have no one to do. It's very good. Capricorn learns from their friend. Friendship is a catalyst of transformation or change for a Capricorn. They learn from their friend and use what they learn from their friend to adapt and to evolve. I don't know if you understand me. They get knowledge from their friends to evolve. This is what gives them the edge. This is what gives them the power. They learn from groups of people and use that to adapt to situations. This is what Scorpio in the 11th place for Capricorn is a very unique sign. Not just talking about people. Okay, so Capricorn people don't come here and start getting into their ego. Basically, what I'm even talking about is because of Saturn there. You understand? This is the very template of Saturn. If you fully understand this guy, we really don't know. Saturn has been heavily demonized. It's really why we are really not getting a lot of stuff. This is geometry, this is mathematics, this is arithmetic, this is all that stuff. You see people in the occult obsessed over the maths, the numerology. This guy is numerology. Saturn here is numerology. Choose Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign of mathematics, calculation, all of that. Now, when it comes to the mentality of a Capricorn, to see how very, this particular sign is not just the people, but like what it describes in the reality. Capricorn has Pisces in the 3rd place of the mind. Your mentality is your 3rd house or the 3rd place. It's the same thing. Pisces is vision. Pisces is visualization. Considering that Saturn, Capricorn is a sign of strategy. What is strategy without vision? You understand me? What is strategy without vision? And this is why you find most Capricorns that people of very few words. You understand what I'm saying? Because they have Pisces, the sign of secret in the place of communication. Everything is internalized. Everything that goes on here, the Capricorn internalizes it. Everybody can just be going helter-skelter. Oh, this is going on, this is going on. The Capricorn has already sat down and just crosses their leg. And is observing this very nonchalant and unbothered. That is Capricorn. You understand what I'm saying? Very nonchalant and unbothered. That is Capricorn. They do not move. We consider that Pisces in the 3rd place, which is the mindset of a Capricorn. Pisces is a sign that lacks boundaries. The sign that has no bound. So the mindset, the mentality of a Capricorn knows no bound. Even though it is a sign of calculative thinking, it still knows no bound. There's no range, there's no limit to how far the mind of a Capricorn can go when it is thinking in thinking mode. You understand what I'm saying? When it's in thinking mode, when it's trying to figure something out, the vision comes in. This is the leader of the zodiac. When I mean the boss himself of your boss can't be a boss without vision, without visualizing situations properly before taking decisions. The 3rd house is the house of decisions. You need vision, you need understanding. Pisces is a sign of understanding. Capricorn has it in the 3rd place. You need that. Capricorn is also the sign of companies. And they have Aquarius in the 2nd house here. You see, Aquarius being in the 2nd house, Aquarius is groups of people, is people. A collective of people. You understand? So when it comes to making money, Capricorn believe they value networking, they value getting people together to network and achieve something. As long as finance is involved, which is what the 2nd place is, these people value networking. Values is the 2nd place. They value networking. Are you following? They value networking, they value friendship, that close alliance, that association that they have to make with people is something they value because they understand that no man is an island. But still doesn't change the fact that these people are very secretive. Why I say this, trust issues. Pisces is a sign of trust issues. These people have it in the 3rd place of communication. Capricorn is only going to tell you something if they trust you. Trust me, if a Capricorn trusts you, they know. Whether they know you are going to tell someone, because they've calculated that they want you to tell that person. You know what trust is? It's not necessarily the whole sentiment about trust. Is I don't trust that guy. So no, you trust him. That is why you know what he can do. You trust that he's always going to be that person. That is what trust is. People misunderstand what trust is. That guy is bad. I don't trust him. No, you trust him to be a bad person. So you are sure that anything you're putting in his care, he's not going to do well at it. So the moment you just don't want him, you want him to spoil, you put it in his care. That is what this whole trust game is about. We often think that trust has to be something that is good. No. You have to trust someone that is a cold-blooded killer. For example, you can trust that if you give this person info in a way that comes, let's say for example, we are just like in a fictional situation now, in a fiction, in a situation of fiction, right? Which is consider that Capricorn is out of calculative thinking. Having Pisces in the third place is fiction. Like when networking or bringing people together is something that a Capricorn values when it comes to handling finances, which is having Aquarius in the second house. Fiction, they create fictional characters in there. They be like, okay, I'm going to put this guy here. That's what Pisces. Pisces is a sign of fiction. So in their mindset, they be like, okay, this guy is going to occupy his position. He's going to move. Do you understand what calculative thinking is? It's what the sign of Capricorn is. Are you following me? This sign, I love this sign, man. Because of the things I've had to pay attention with, I've paid attention to as regards to Saturn. This is the very obsession of astrologers, the ancient astrologers. You understand? Because the revelation that comes with tracking the motion of just this particular, it's crazy. This is the father energy, the cosmic father energy. This is it. And Cancer too, these people have Cancer in the 7th place. People often say that Capricorn is a sign of unemotionality, which is true. You understand me? Which is true. Capricorn is a sign of unemotionality. It's also a sign of cruelty too. But cruelty in the sense that, the kind of harsh disciplinary measures that your father uses on you when you begin to baby around, when you're no longer as young as you thought you to be and you can get away with it. That punishment that you feel is cruel. That is how Saturn enforces punishment or carries out punishment. And Capricorn is a sign of punishment. Yes. It's also the sign of karmic lessons. Punishment, karmic lessons, and punishment, karmic lessons, and discipline. So when you consider these three things, your dad is, they have Libra in the 10th house, which is the highest potential of it. When they say Saturn is exalted in Libra, Libra is the 10th place of Capricorn, where Saturn rules. The 10th place is the highest potential of 18. You understand what I'm saying? Capricorn rules the 10th place originally. Let's just leave it out of this particular one. Capricorn rules the 10th place. So Capricorn is the goat. The animal that is called goat. Goat, literal goat. She-goat. Other stuff is Capricorn. Capricorn is also the mountain. So the symbolism most times in your gods or in just, in normal astrological stuff is the symbolism of a goat on top of a mountain or hill or other stuff. Yeah, that's Capricorn. And the mountain is the highest point of the earth. You understand? The protruding part of the earth, like it forms like a mound or something like that. You understand what I mean? It's the highest point of the earth. And Capricorn rules the 10th place, which is the highest place. Anything after the 10th place goes like this, which is the 11th, where Aquarius stays. So nothing goes above the 10th place. This is why the 10th place, which is the sign of Capricorn, is the sign of career. So when a person reaches that certain height, like if a person reaches the highest point in their career and whatever it is they are doing, they call them the GOAT. You understand why they call them the GOAT? The greatest of all time. Capricorn is the sign that points to the things that brings you honor and reward and promotion. You know why they say they say the Saturn is the planet of business, where it's the kind of business. I'm going to do a content on the astrology of money much later. It's a sign of business and promotion. You understand? When it comes to gaining like visibility, that is like laying the very foundation. You're just stepping into the market. People that go in with that energy where they step into the market and they do the promotion, they've laid the foundation. But some of them give up because you don't understand, when you're using the Saturn energy, when you're going into business, you have to be steadfast. Because you are drawing, you're tapping in from a cosmic energy. You understand? That will continuously test you. Saturn is demolition. Saturn is building. It is development. It is the sign that brings things down, builds them back up at a high level. How do you intend to thrive, to be at top 100, businessmen in the world, when you just give up very fast? Like, taking for example, I beg sponsored one of BBC Nigeria series at one point in time. But I beg is nowhere to be found. They did the promotion, they did the groundwork. People knew them, but I mean, after that, after the promotion, after BBC Nigeria, nobody knew I beg again. They stopped promoting themselves. They stopped promoting themselves. They thought that was it. You do your promotion. That is the energy of Capricorn, business. Capricorn is the sign of business. Serious business. Not the sign of Taurus that points to marketing and all of which brings me to this point here. Now, the 5th place of Capricorn is Taurus. This is the things that you love, where your heart is. Now, if you think of Capricorn as your father, where is the heart of the father? The heart of the father is in providing for his children or for his family. Taurus being the sign of provision in the 5th place. The 5th place is where your heart is. It's your heart anatomically. If you watch my video about the anatomical structure, the astrology of the human anatomy, you see why I said that Leo rules the 5th place, which is the heart. The 5th place is the heart. It's where your heart is, your loyalty is, your love is. The things that you love. Provision, money, food. Capricorn love food. Trust. Capricorns love food. You understand me? Capricorn, if you're dating a Capricorn, talking about Cancer being here that I think I kind of skipped, is them being emotional when it comes to partnership. People often say that they are very unemotional people, but I mean, when it comes to partnership, you find that soft side of them. This is why they crave women that are very feminine and very nurturing. You understand? Women that can cook. These people love food. Cancer is also the sign of food. So you consider this too as a love language of a Capricorn, because they even have it in 2 places. You understand? This is like your natural tendency. This is what the 5th place to point to is your natural tendency. And having the sign of food is there. But also, let's take it like a step further. When it comes to business, the strength of business is the economics, is the marketing, that's what Taurus is. Saturn being the sign of it. But like as the father, where your heart of the father is, it's in providing. That is the sign of Taurus. Taurus is provision, providing. You understand? Being able to provide for your loved ones. This is what your loved ones are, the 5th house. This is where the heart of a father is cosmically. This is the cosmic design. A father is a provider. A father is a provider. This is why even Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars is a single man. He's a bachelor. Yes, that's what Mars is. It doesn't reach its full potential until he's in Capricorn. When he now becomes a father, he's now taking on responsibilities. Hence, you say the same Mars is exalted in Capricorn. This is how it works. You see, having Gemini in the 6th place, you want to understand with Capricorn. Give me all the details of what you want me to do for you. So think of Capricorn as a developer, which is what it is, you understand? The developer, you understand? The builder. And you want the builder to get stuff for you, because this 6th place is a place of work. You understand me? Gemini is in the 6th place of Capricorn, which is the sign of information. You understand? The sign of information. Now, give me all the nitty-gritty information that you want me to have when it comes to executing these tasks for you or getting this job done. Don't let me finish one stage and then you are not introducing another detail for me. Oh, so you've done this one, good, but there's another thing. No, provide me with all of the details. This is what a Capricorn's mindset is when it comes to work. Give them everything once and they get it done. That is how to handle business. You just don't come in and taking this. Are you playing? Talking about play, they have Leo here, right? In the 8th house. Leo being in the 8th house. Leo is composure. Capricorn is a sign of maturity and it has Leo in the 8th house. You know, the 8th house is intimacy. Capricorns mostly they have a strong preference for people that have composure when it comes to people that they want to have intimate affairs with. Yes. But you also will consider the fact that the 8th house is also the house of like shared resources. And, Leo is the sign of investment too. Leo is the sign of investment. These guys are if you look at Capricorn as a sign of business, just outside of describing people, you will understand how business is supposed to run. This is what I keep saying. This is the very template, the 12 signs, the very template. There was a time, those before us, the ancient that we know, we used to think of these guys are very advanced. There was a time they only discovered 4 signs. They were using just 4. Then at some point again, they discovered more. They had 7 signs until 12 was discovered. Then the Babylonians now came and used the pathways of the sun and observed that every time the sun is here, this and this is being expressed in nature, which is the sun's ecliptic, the pathway that the sun uses to go 360 degrees a year around the earth. I didn't say 360 days, I said 360 degrees. That is full cycle around the earth. That pathway that the sun passes, that is the sun's ecliptic. There are 12 expressions in that pathways. And every time the sun is in a certain point, you see the expression. Every time the sun is in Capricorn, in the other side of the world, it begins to get cold. You begin to see the snows begin to come. Over here, the Harmattan begins to build up. Then when it gets to Aquarius, the peak of the Harmattan sets here. That side, the peak of the winter sets. The snow begins to become heavy. Because these 2 signs point to cold. This is when every time the sun is in these 2 places. When the sun gets to Aries in Nigeria, that's when we begin to experience it. That's 21st of March. That is 0 degrees Aries. If it's not a leap year though. You understand me? If it's not a leap year, that's 0 degrees of Aries, 21st of March. That is when we begin to feel the heat. I don't know if you guys understand. That is the heat. That is. So let's stick to this basis here, right? So, Leo, you have been in this place, is composure. They don't settle for mediocrity when it comes to intimacy. They don't do that. You don't settle for mediocrity. You have to be as composed as and loyalty is something that a Capricorn is always going to demand. Once a Capricorn has initiated intimacy with you, they demand loyalty. Yes, a Capricorn will always want loyalty, which is what the sign of Leo is. If you look at the 5th house too, which points to loyalty, where they are very loyal to the money. What is business is business, guys. Capricorn is a sign of business, And the 5th place, which is the strength of it, is where they have the sign of money. The strength of business is money. You can't run business without money. That is the heart of business. The heart, the life force of business is currency, is money. It's marketing. Don't forget that it is marketing. You're doing business or watching me. It is marketing too. That's what the sign of Taurus is. You understand? But don't forget to do your promotion. And as I was talking about Libra here, before I digress, I've been saying a lot. There's a lot I wanted to say about this Capricorn sign, but guys, I just want to keep it simple. I'm trying my best to keep it simple. This sign here is heavily loaded. You understand? I'm beginning to understand why the ancients were so obsessed with this guy. I'm beginning to understand that. So Libra in the 10th place, the highest potential of a thing, right, is having Libra here in the 10th place of Capricorn. Libra is a sign of equity, justice, fairness. So what do you expect the boss who owns a company or the father in the home, when it comes to handling decisions? Because the 10th place is the place of judgment. Capricorn is also the sign of judgment, but it chooses the 10th place. For those that don't know, let me not confuse you. Let me just keep it simple. So it chooses the 10th place. So like when it comes to judging situations or giving out punishment, you understand? The sign of judgment gives out the sign of judgment and punishment. Judgment and punishment can only be highly fulfilled when it is executed or it is expressed in a fair and just manner, in fairness and justice. You understand my point? This is what Libra in the 10th place is. The highest potential of a Capricorn. No matter how you want to say Capricorn is a malefic, at its highest point, it balances out the scale. This is the sign of the scale. What is it called? Libra. At its highest point. So the thing you find at harshness, that is the karmic lessons. You didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. Come on, account. It's a sign of accounting, calculation, mathematics, accountability too. So having Virgo in the 9th house. This is the thing. The 9th house is the house of constant, the things that you constantly do, the sign of business or the people of Capricorn, they are always busy. They are all constantly being busy. You can't run a company. Well, there's a company because Capricorn is also like systems, entrepreneurship. Yes, entrepreneurship is Capricorn. Building systems is why they have the sign of networking in second place of finance, money. You understand what I'm saying? It's the sign of company. Capricorn is the sign of company. So if you think of it that way, these guys, like system needs to be running, and they are constantly busy. Whether they have a system that is running after where they are not, and all of that. Take for example Peter Obi is always busy. Not that he's a Capricorn, but Capricorn being a sign of businessmen and entrepreneurs and all of that, and which is a sign that describes those kind of situations. So if you see someone who is fully conducting themselves in a full entrepreneurship capacity, you constantly find them being busy. They're always doing something. They just don't sit down idle. That's just constantly busy. It's what these guys, constantly busy. You see. So, and this is like hygiene is another thing too that they hold to at the highest point. But fairness and justice is the highest point of Capricorn, which is where the sign of Libra is in the third place. And then the 12th place is where they have Sagittarius. It's movement, it's mobility, it is transportation. It is going to and fro. Going to and fro from any kind of movement you're making and all that stuff. That is what Capricorn is. Sorry, what Sagittarius is in the 12th house of Capricorn. And the 12th house is the place of secrets, So when it comes to these people traveling or stepping out, trust me, they're not going to tell you where they're going. Don't forget I told you people. Pisces is in the 3rd house of Capricorn. These people will not tell you a thing. You understand me? When it comes, these people have trust issues when it comes to communicating with people. They have. It is just business. You understand what I'm saying? It is just business. So they are not going to tell you wherever it is that they are going. You understand me? You see? And another thing here I want us to understand, when I describe Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius is a sign of philosophy. So if you look at philosophy, right, being in the 12th place of Capricorn, it's the 12th place, right? First of all, it points to the things that you can't stand about people. Philosophy is not a Capricorn thing. Capricorn is all about practicality. It's the sign of practicality, business. Don't come and be giving me philosophy. It's the thing they can't stand about people. They are talking business. You are trying to speak English. You are explaining why Socrates did this and this one did not do that, and Aristotle did this. Take it away from a Capricorn. They don't want to hear all that stuff. They don't want to hear all that stuff. They don't want to hear all that stuff, right? So this is the sign of Capricorn. So you guys see now, they didn't take light. That information that I was given, anyways, is for me. Maybe one of these days, universe will be like, okay, this is the time to give it up, and I will give it, So this is the sign of Capricorn, right? It's a lot of things for me to have talked about here, but I'm just keeping the video simple. Those that are a sign of Capricorn, if it describes you, let me know in the comment section. Alright?